All right. Peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon. I'm glad y'all joining us this afternoon, man. I know we're running a few minutes late here. We're gonna hopefully make it up to you guys here shortly. So let's go ahead and get in, and hopefully some of the panel members will come on as we get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce myself first, Patrick, and then that way I get the clip loaded up. Again, my name is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210 at BNL on all social media. You could go to my YouTube right now at BNL on as well. I need y'all to like, subscribe, start sharing our content. I know we got our little core audience, but we're trying to expand our core audience. I'm getting some feedback on the street as well. So a lot of people starting to look at the show and starting to comments and starting to, to like it. It's entertaining and informative at the same time. So a lot of people liking it. We just need more people to start, bragging on us a little bit. If you like it, brag on us a little bit to your friends, man. I think we got something unique. You don't see too many podcasts that's real estate oriented or financial planning oriented. I know you got the guys that talk about stocks and all these investments, but we're talking about strategy planning, and we're a little bit different. So with that being said, you go to my website, www.applywithme.com. You could go ahead and book me for a consultation, or you could apply for a mortgage right there. Also, you can call me 24/7, 832-775-8357 if it's about business. Also, I'm a luxury agent at the same time as well. So you can go to my website, www.brandonbdixon.com. If you need to lease, you need to buy or list, you need to sell, you need to invest, I can help you with all of that stuff. So last but not least, go to my website, www.cocinvestmentclub.com. We got the investment club if you want to mitigate some of your risk and start learning how to invest in real estate. So best place right there. Patrick, I'll go ahead, cue it up for you.
Sounds good. Good evening, everyone. Patrick Chevalier III. I am a financial planner, have my own practice. You can see he put the website up there. It's www.chevalierwealth.com. You can go there, learn more about us, our process, and how we help folks in regard to strategy. In addition to that, you can definitely find us on all social channels at chevalierwealth.com, CHEVALIER, the word wealth. Definitely check out our YouTube. We do weekly market commentary. I actually just got one up today. And what we do is we talk about what happened in the markets this past week and what everyone is looking at this week. In addition to that, I do a portfolio themes, and this one is really cool. And this is where I actually talk about opportunities in the market that you can capitalize today based on facts and real numbers. So if you're looking to grow your accounts, looking to learn more about investing overall, you should definitely like and follow us wherever you find us.
Got you. Hyman, you're perfectly on time. I don't think he dipped out. I got you queued up. I guess not. I guess he dipped out real fast. So we're gonna go ahead and start the show out. This week I got a little bit of little array of different clips. I mean, there's so many different things to react to this week. This depends on if we got time. Sure, I got a couple of bonus clips, man. I was just watching, some good stuff came out. I was watching as I was waiting for you guys to come in. There's a couple of good ones that just recently came out, man. So depending on if we got time, we'll react to all of them. Hyman, I got you queued up. You want to go ahead and while we're on the introductions, to go ahead and introduce yourself.
It's Jaime with H&F Premier Realty. Here to help you with your investing needs, buy, sell, or lease. Feel free to give me a call at 832-235-0985. What's the dealio?
Gotcha. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get it kicked off here. And then we got a little bit of array of different things. So let's go ahead and get it kicked off, and let's go ahead and start the show. Since we're a little bit late, we ain't gonna waste no time.
Right, let's dive on in.
Right, waste no time.
Theater, a second house. How much are they asking? It's 1.15 million. That's it? I'll take it. Great. I'll get started on the paperwork. When do you want to close? Time is money, so the quicker we can close, the better. What name would you want on the paperwork? Shaquille or Shaq? Neither. I'm not actually buying it. I thought you wanted the house. I do want the house, but I don't actually want to buy it. I want this for my daughter, Chexie, so her trust is going to buy it. Okay, great. I think we can close in less than 2 weeks. Hey, Jack, how's it going? Hey. Do I know you? I'm your realtor. I sold you your house in Atlanta. Oh, yeah. I saw your house has gone up a lot. Let me know if you're interested in selling. Well, I'm never selling. But it's worth like $5 million now. You can cash in on $4 million of profit. Yeah, but if I sell, that $4 million is going to get taxed, and I'll probably pay at least $2 million in taxes. Makes sense. What's your plan with it? Remember how Chexie's trust bought the house and not me? Yeah. My lawyer set it up so that when all the gains are eliminated. If I passed away today, Chexie could sell the house for $5 million and not have any tax on it. Wow. How do you know this stuff? I follow Nada from operation to hustle. Just kidding. I'm rich. I have a bunch of CPAs on staff. But if you're not rich, you should follow her. I like this house. 14 acres.
Right. So, bam. That's one of the first ones, man. I'm all about saving on those taxes, man. I'm all about tax deferring. I'm all about taking advantage of all the tax breaks that I can. So, so this is right up my alley. CJ, you're right on time. I mean, actually, you missed the introductions, but
that's all good.
You're on the first bid, but what do y'all think? I'll go ahead and open the floor. I know Patrick, this is right up your alley.
Right,
You know what
right. Right. Some key things that I think about in regard to benefits of buying a home in a trust. It gives you greater control over that property after you die, right? Because it's laid out in those trust documents for that trustee to manage. In addition to that, you can update your beneficiary at any given time in that trust as well. So again, that's another control factor. It's much, it has a lot of tax advantages just because it's held inside of that trust. But the whole idea is you definitely want to be sure that you know what strategy that you're using. That way you can capitalize on setting up a mortgage or a home in a trust now and in the long term.
Right. Anybody else want to chime in on that before I go in? I'm loading up the next clip while y'all doing that.
In my opinion, that's what it's about. It's not just about acquiring real estate. It's about leaving a legacy and leaving a legacy in the right way. So not just, all right, I got property, I'm gonna pass it down to my seed, but how do I keep the courts and the justice system out of the process? So putting it in the trust, in my opinion, is the best way to do that. And it's a process that is independent of your realtor, all that whole process is independent of that. You want to have that set up to where once you acquire property, you have a trustee that handles all that.
Right. I'm still loading up. I got the clip ready now. Jaime, you want to chime in on that before I go in?
What I liked about the video was that the fact that they were just talking about what the trust is and the benefits of it. Most of us really don't understand how trusts really work. They just think it's for the super wealthy. or for those who've had one that was, when you think of trust, you think of Rockefeller, you think of the Kennedys, you think of I forgot, I can't think of the guy who created Exxon Mobil. You think of Henry Ford. You think of those people, those family members who are what we call trust fund babies. But for the everyday guy, the everyday woman who works a 9 to 5, you can actually have a trust, and your first asset of your trust can be you. It can be through your life insurance policy if you so deem, if you have multiple, to start your seed out on second base versus at home trying to hit a home run or get on base. And so for me, that was super interesting. I really thought that was really a solid video, just talking about the trust. And I wish they would have dug a little bit deeper into how the assets can really work inside of the trust. You got a lot of those influence nowadays. They're talking about, well, before you get a corporation, you should get a trust so your trust can do all the navigating for you. That is true, but you still got to have assets for the trust to have any value.
Right.
And if you do work the 9 to 5, making $50,000 a year, your first asset is you and your life. You know what I'm saying? And so there's no rule against you getting multiple policies on your life, policies on your family or your wife, and you set that thing up to where some will go into a trust, some will go into for the kids when you die, and keep it moving from there.
Right. So yeah, this is my 2 cents on it real fast. You know, I love anything tax deferred. I love tax strategies. I think that's a whole different income, you know, if done properly. And I think there's a whole different way to get rich if done properly. You know, like you said, that most people will take that, and then as soon as it appreciates, go ahead and try to sell it and try to flip it, and then you still don't worry about the taxes later. They don't have a strategy in mind to take on the taxes, and then you know they don't think long term; they think short term. You know, I want to say this though too, and it's subliminally shots fired. You know, because I recently got burned on a deal, dealing with somebody that don't know the difference between the streets and corporate. You know, there's a difference between when you do business on the streets and when you do business and you're trying to build a business as a corporation and legit. 2 different sides of the brain. So a lot of people, everybody comes from the streets, but at the same time, you can't take everything from the streets and try to scale. It's not gonna happen. You know, so when you talking corporate, you thinking long term. You know, and that's how corporations think. They don't think for the moment. They don't live for the moment. They think generations down the line. I've often mentioned before on a podcast that's how a certain demographic got rich by just life insurance policy. I'm glad that Hyman mentioned that your first asset in the trust is yourself. So this is how delegating your life insurance policies according to how you want to, avoiding probate, which your a lot of people's biggest asset is their home. You know, so you avoid probate with your descendants, you know, your heirs. So you know, a lot of stuff is you know, people should have trust, and you know, there's a lot of tax deferment that you could do. That's why I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that. I'll let Kathy dive deeper into that stuff, but I don't want to speak too much. But you got to get the streets out of your mentality. We come from the streets, but you want to go ahead and think corporate. Look how the people that's been doing it for the last couple of years, they think generations now. You know, so we got to start planning ahead of time. You know, that's that house that Shaq brought, quote unquote. He didn't buy it for himself. That's for his kids to have generational wealth. You know? That's not a flip. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You know, so a lot of things when we come from the streets, you think everything's got to be flip. That's because you're not paying taxes on the street.
Right, that's a good point. I never thought about that.
Right. So we got the flip. But don't I think T.I. and Wesley Snipes and a couple other people got caught up. But when you're on this side and you're talking millions, you can't run it like that.
Right.
If you do, you're gonna
totally
take big loss. Huh?
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah, it's a totally different ball game. So we got to switch the mentality Yeah, you got enough smarts to make it off the streets, but it's a new ball game when you come into the corporation mindset, corporation archetype.
Right.
You got to do it by the rules, and there's a whole bunch of rules that's different. That's my 2 cents. Anybody else want to rebuttal on that before I go to the next clip?
No, I think you hit it on the nose.
Right, let's go ahead and
Anybody else
go
want
to
to
the
rebuttal on that before I go to the next clip?
No, I think
somebody got the YouTube up.
Yeah. From there.
Has been going viral because people have been asking, how the hell can I write off my dog on my taxes? So I'm gonna give you 2 legal ways that you can write off your dog on your 2024 taxes. So strategy number 1 is if you have a business and you have a home office, you can legally write off your dog as a security animal. Because if you have a business, you might have some personal identifiable information in your office. And if your office is your home office and you have a pet at home, your dog can legally be written off in your business as a guard dog. So that's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2 is if your dog is a service animal, meaning it helps you with depression, it helps you with your emotions, you can leverage your HSA to pay for your dog's expenses. I'm talking about grooming, food, lodging, all expenses related to your dog. You can use your FSA or your HSA to write off your dog and your taxes. So those are 2 strategies to write off your dogs in 2024.
Yeah, that's right up the alley for me, man. 'Cause I got the dog business at the same time, man. So I had to throw that in. That's right up my alley, man. So I just, to open it up to be generic about it, we don't realize how many different tax strategies and tax breaks there are. And I've seen this with the last couple clients I've been helping. They just take it to H&R Block, and it's a roll of dice, and they think the customer service is based on how much they get back. I'm looking at some of the reviews. Yeah, take it to such and such. You won't be disappointed. So they thinking the actual person is, getting them the return. So it's like, it's almost like winning the lotto, almost like, scratch offs or something strategy. And it's you gotta learn the rules, and you should be planning on how much you should get back and how much you should pay, and how much you should not pay. It shouldn't be a gamble. So that's my point of it. I'm just trying to enlighten those of us who, hey, all right, let me see how much my tax is going to be. You should know. You should have a strategy going on.
Well, if you're talking just about the everyday guy who works the 9 to 5 B, for them, they're getting the income tax withheld. Those folks kind of just know. The only thing they could do is kind of play with their deductions, married, single, how many kids they have to kind of offset that cost if they make a bunch of money. If you're just in direction to individual business owners, those who are growing, those business owners who are growing, they still have that same mentality. I just need to file my taxes and I just don't want to pay. And so they're learning that part. It's just all about who you identify with, who you're trying to speak to as far as what the deduction should be. Because for a while, you still gonna go to H&R Block even if you become a business owner, because that's all you just know until you learn better.
Oh, I think that's bad advice. I mean, I think if I'm gonna tell you why. And I meant to load up the next clip, but I got to interject. This is what we're trying to combat against. Even if you're every day, and I want to see if Patrick agree with me. Even if you're a 9 to 5er, even if you're every day, today is the day of side hustles. Do it legally. Get your LLC. Do it. Don't just do your side hustle just to be doing it. Incorporate that side hustle, because everything that you could do, all your expenses are tax deductible. If you're a caterer, I'm scrolling through YouTube, getting a TikTok brain. Everybody doing a little whatever it is. They and I'm about to show. I got a clip coming up in a second. They doing repurposing T-shirts. They doing artwork. They doing catering. They doing glitter on gloves. whatever you're doing, incorporate it.
Realistically, B, if you do have a side hustle and you're making some money, most of the money that you probably make as a side hustle, let's just put a number. Let's say they make 20,000 additional in the year. You just run it into your gross income. The deduction that you think that you're going to be able to write off to keep you from paying back taxes or to getting some money. That's where it all ends up in. Either I'm going to get some money or I'm not going to pay taxes.
But there's only certain things you can write off as a W-2. There's a lot more that you can write off being a business owner. Taxes, am I right?
You are correct. But I'm going to meet you guys in the middle, right? What Brandon is saying is like, hey, go ahead and incorporate. If you're a single member LLC, you're treated as a disregarded entity anyway. So all your expenses and revenue is going to pass through to your Schedule C on your tax return anyway. So it's going to be all mixed in. But to Brandon's point, all the money that you spent to do whatever it is that you're doing, that comes off the top to bring down your ordinary income, which brings down your tax rate, right? So you can do a hobby that you like to do, right? And you make a little money doing it. Once you add your expenses in there over the whole year, it can get you to the point to where, between the money I make at my full-time job and what I do on the side is my hobby, my business that I'm trying to grow, it can bring you to where you'll end up actually having a lower tax liability, a lower tax debt than if you would have otherwise.
That's if you have a debt. Most cases you don't even have a debt. If you're making about 20,000, if you're gonna put real numbers to it, B, if you're making about 20,000, you're still not gonna have a tax debt. You still get a refund.
Well, if you're self-employed, you have to pay self-employment tax, right?
Correct. You got taxes on that 20.
Right. But so
20,000 with $2,000 at 10%. Oh wait, 2,500 plus whatever you paid, and if you're a 40-hour employee, you still get a return back. You're not really.
My point is, would you rather take that take that money, get Uncle Sam, or take that money and put it into a business that you can make use of money and that possibly could scale?
You still get here's the thing, B. If you take the average household income today and you add that 20,000 to it, you still would get a return. You would not pay the IRS anything.
Right. Now, my point on that, on the return is, let me ask you guys this panel. I'm going to ask the panel. We're going circular, clockwise. Okay, which one of you guys would give me an interest-free loan? Which one? Hyman? You give me a loan interest-free? Nope. CJ, you'll give me a loan interest-free? I know we cool, but would you give me? Okay. Mr. Corey?
Depends on the amount, you know what I'm saying? You need to bridge the gap or something, you know what I'm saying? You my partner, you know what I'm saying? Look,
Corey,
I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out.
Hey, Corey, capping like a mug.
If it's under 100, you got me. If it's under 100, you got me. That's good to know, though.
There you go.
Brandon, would you give me an interest-free loan?
I mean, I don't lend money. Credit makes enemies. Let's be friends.
Okay, so let me ask the group this: why would you want to give the IRS an interest-free loan?
Right.
Because when you're doing your withholding, that's essentially what you're doing, right?
Exactly.
You're overpaying the IRS. They sit on your money for a year, right, 9 to 12 months, and then they give you a refund back with no interest.
Fact.
Right. So it's important for you to know your numbers and set up your strategy withholding. Otherwise, if you're working, if you have a side hustle, or if you're doing both, all of the above, you don't want to give the IRS an interest-free loan where you can be doing other things with that money for you and your family or whatever it is that's important to you. So that's my key takeaway on that. My main point is, hey,
and the words of KRS, you must learn. I mean, you got to learn, man. You got to learn.
Really, every year it should be a wash. It should be I don't owe anything. It should be I don't get a refund back. Right.
Exactly.
Essentially, let the IRS borrow your money and sit on it for months and months and months, interest free.
Right, and it's amazing. I talk to my mentees all the time when they go to setting up the business. They ask me if they should be 1099 or W-2. It's amazing how many people don't know about this. I went to the barbershop the other day. It's amazing how many barbers don't know how to do this. Like, we are really uneducated when it comes to how this system. I thought there was some bars the other day. They didn't know how to do this. They're like, well, Like, man, y'all serious? I thought this was like elementary, single member LLC. What if you got a side hustle, which everybody has? They DoorDash and they doing something.
Well,
You
first
doing
off, you know what I'm
something.
saying? I don't take it for granted that we know this type of stuff. So you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it's elementary because it's a lot of people that don't know and they're not going
Exactly.
to the right
Finding it
people
out.
to educate them on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? As a collective being in this industry, as we know, we just try to educate as many people as we can and not criticize or look down on them because of it.
Right.
That's it.
Because there was a point in time when we didn't know.
Right. Well,
Right.
that's what the purpose of the podcast is to educate
Right.
people. That's why I'm volunteering my time. This is what this is about. But it's not a criticism. It's a enlightenment. It's a teaching moment. But that's why I said that's why I always advise people to if which everybody's doing, you're doing something to earn extra money. Where there's a social media influencer, you're doing something. So why not do it right and monetize it and pay your taxes or get your tax breaks on there.
Right.
Anything else before I go to the next clip?
Yeah, don't give the IRS a tax-free loan.
Exactly. Don't give it. They got enough money. They print the stuff.
Right.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? All right,
Agree.
let's
I know y'all see it because I'm seeing it more and more. I'm talking about the build to rent communities. Corporations, institutional buyers, developers are buying unused land, especially north of Atlanta, to build new communities and make new homes available to rent, not own. I've seen several in Gwinnett. Essentially, they're excluding you, the middleman, from the transfer of wealth. According to Rent Cafe, Atlanta was number 3 in the top 10 metros for build to rent completions in 2022, more than 800 single family homes for rent completed. This is why it's so important for you to own. You want to build equity, have something to pass down, potentially use as an investment property. Why would someone want to live in one of these communities, you may ask? Well, for one, don't have to share a wall or live below someone. They offer the comfort and privacy of living in a house without the responsibilities and maintenance costs. One site said these communities help housing crisis by offering a more obtainable option with reasonably priced rents. That may be true in certain instances, but the fact of the matter is they're completely removing you, the everyday investor, from the process. Here's some of the floor plans and rates for this specific community I was in. Does this look affordable to you? As Mark Twain said, buy land. They're not making it anymore. Have you seen these communities? If so, where? What are your thoughts? They don't want you to own. I know y'all see it because I'm seeing it more and more.
right. So that's right up.
My question is, what is reasonable rents? Them houses look nice. Reasonable rents. If you talk about 2,500, 3,000, he out his rabbit ass mind.
Yeah, that's every bit of $3,000 a month. That's the norm right there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
BTRs are super popular, and I think what made them popular is when we had that downturn, and builders were building, and they got to a point where okay, it's not feasible to keep building. We sell it off to a developer who does the BTR, and so now you have a brand new subdivision with BTR on the inside of it, and keep it moving. It was a hell of a play when that really took off 3 or 4 years ago.
For all of us that don't know, what's BTR stand for?
Build to rent.
Okay. Build to rent.
Build to rent. You build a subdivision, and all you're doing is just strictly for lease.
Right.
And that's it.
That's what I always said. What's the name of that guy? He does a little bit of everything. I'll think of it here shortly, but I like the way he got it set up. He has commercial side. The way he develops his commercial. He has a strip mall anchoring the subdivision. He'll have the apartment complex right in the back of it. He'll have the townhouses. There's BDR, and then you have some buy to own as well. So he has a little bit of everything. Where you got that person, if they like that school district, you catch them. All right, you rent the apartment, build your credit up. All right, you got an apartment. If you want, you get your apartment, then build your credit up. Then you can buy something right in the back of there. That way you got to switch school districts. So I kind of like that plan as well. So you catch them at all phases. If you want to have a little business, you go ahead anchor your business right there in our strip mall. We got a strip mall that you can lease, and have it all in one neighborhood. So, and I'm thinking of develop here shortly, but that's how I'm trying to model my business ultimately once I get up there. But just to react to the clip, man, I think I can look at it both sides. I'm in the middle. Like, it's good business. If you're looking at the top, to go ahead, how we've been talking for the last few weeks is that a lot of people is going to be priced out. So it is a good move to go ahead and do some of them BTRs. I mean, but at the same time, you're looking from the bottom up. It's like, hey, they strategizing on you not owning anything. Like I said,
Right.
not owning anything and loving it. So it's both sides. That's my take on it.
Right. With the video with me, it's definitely a market for what they're doing, and it makes sense, from a business standpoint, right? Because there's a need, and they're providing that service for folks who need it. But in regard to the video, the guy, his main point was like, hey, they're cutting you out, of building your wealth long term by owning or purchasing a home. And so I think he hit it on the nose with that. If you can't get into a $300,000 house, start with that house that's 150, 175, those starter homes, right? A lot of my young clients are doing that. And then they just, 5-10 years later, they go get another bigger, better house. And they move that equity that they built over that 5-10 years to that next house, right? And so on and so forth. But the whole idea is that, you're giving up equity when you're paying rent, you're filling somebody else's pocket. And so I think that's the main point that this guy's trying to say is hey, pay yourself that equity in rent instead of paying somebody else.
Right.
Thanks.
Oh yeah. He also hit on the fact for the smaller investor, it makes it hard for them to invest in projects. In actuality, it's not. The BTR community has a set person in mind. They are building these properties for those folks who making between 60 to 80,000 with tremendous amounts of debt, but still can have the ability to afford a mortgage, but just can't buy. So that is filling a massive gap in our marketplace. Great idea. But as far as if you're just trying to get out there and invest and have your own stake in the investment industry, yeah, you still can go buy you some small single families and still have your own dirt to pass down to your kids, whether you're living in it or just investing. And eventually you can get to a point where you can buy a portion of the BTR portfolio, because a company called Camillo Homes does that a lot.
I appreciate it. Camillo, that's all.
Camillo Homes does it a lot. What they do is they'll create a BTR and then sell off 5 houses at a time,
as
a portfolio. And you just go in and you just buy them and you have it, and it's already everything is already in place.
Right. That's who ultimately I'm trying to model HOC after. That's
that sounds pretty turnkey, right? If it's already been there and it's established, you just got to step in and take over.
Yeah, you just step in and they'll sell you 5 homes out of that package.
Right.
Plus, a lot of their community is new construction, so you know what I'm saying, you ain't got to worry about the issues that older homes have to deal with.
Yeah, they start selling after 10 years, because I think that's when it's time for them to do their refinance, to get their money, for the bank to get their money back out of them, and so they just start selling off portions.
Yeah, for that 10-year balloon.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, I like I said, I think this is what I wanted to see as well. I think, like I said, as far as strategy for investors, I would like to have thought like a lot of young people would do what Hyman was talking about, would get older houses and dump some money to renovate them and live in them for a little while and make that their first rental property. But they don't. They start off, especially in our community, they want to start off at the top. They want to start off at the Taj Mahal. Chris and I got a customer right now. I talked with this customer and broke it down, took my time and broke it down. This is what you want to do. Lo and behold, she's going to the builder today. What did we talk about? That's like the worst thing you could do. Like,
is she single?
She's single.
Yeah, that's about right. It's a woman who wants to try to maintain so much stuff.
But you don't have to. You want an investment property. You want an investment property that you can live in and then turn it into a rental later on. Why would you go to a new build and especially that $500,000 Brains.
Was that her goal? Was her goal an investment property, or was her goal
That's what she originally came, but she switched
a
it
nice
up.
house for myself?
Yeah,
Because I
180.
think that the psyche of it is that, hey, I work hard every day. I deserve a nice place to live, and if I'm paying for that mortgage, I want my place to be nice, right?
Yeah,
And
but
I don't see anything wrong with that logic.
delayed
Right.
gratification. Delayed
If that's
gratification.
what's gonna make you happy, but yeah, you know, if you're trying to be strategic with yourself and say, hey, you know, in 20, 30 years, what place will I be in if I look at other options? There are other options that, you know, in 20, 30 years, your outcome will be much better. Right.
This is the problem. This is the problem. Let's keep it all the way. It's delayed gratification. Carbs make me feel good. It makes me happy. I like rice. I like macaroni and cheese. You know,
Right.
I like
I like double
candy
cheese.
yams. Yeah, but I eat that stuff, and the pound's gonna stay on. What I need to be eating is some berries and some nuts and paws, you know, and some oatmeal. That's what I need to be eating.
A
As a
major
vegetable.
pause. But here you go though, B. You can't force something on somebody that's not their lifestyle or their comfort zone. You can't if you run into a vegetarian, you can't force a double cheeseburger down their throat. You know what I'm saying? So everybody is a little bit different in their perspective. When you have a single female, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, an investment property is probably the best way for her to go. But is she comfortable with it? If she's not comfortable with it, or she doesn't feel good about the possibility of toilets going wrong, the roof going wrong, the risk of something happening, and she doesn't have the money for it, then you can't necessarily force her down the throat or be mad at her for it. I'm just happy if she's a homeowner.
Right.
Well, how about
At
this?
least
Her
she's
delayed
taking some kind of steps.
Her delayed gratification is the fact that she's worked hard enough to be able to afford a $500,000 home. She put in the work to get to that point. That's the delayed gratification.
Right.
Well,
and that was what
now
you mentioned about the psyche of it. It's like, hey, I've
Well-
worked hard and paid my dues.
So
You know?
let me finish my thought. So I come to you and say, man, look, I want to get shredded. I'm trying to drop about 2 beans. And I tell you now, man, you need to eat X, Y, and Z. And I turn around and I still eat that rice, still eat me a Whataburger. You say, well, I deserve that Whataburger because, you know, I work hard for it. That's what you're telling me. You came to me and you said you wanted to get shredded.
No,
Right.
that's not it. That's not it, B. When you go to a personal trainer and the personal trainer tell you you're supposed to eat crackers and water every day, and you decide that you don't want to eat crackers and water, what is that trainer gonna do? Okay, well, you gonna be on your own. That's what you're comfortable with. You're not dedicated to doing this of what the goal is, then you just accomplish your goal on your own. That's
Right.
it.
So
They
I'm wearing a
ain't gonna
hat.
jump down your throat about it.
Put my financial planner hat on. You know, what you learn in school, right, about, you know, investments, planning, taxes, all that good stuff, right? There's a ratio for everything. You should have this much here, you should have that much there, you should do this much ratio, this ratio, that ratio. But what you learn in the real world in regard to somebody you know, having a strategy and sticking to it, they have to be comfortable with that strategy. It's not going to work in the long term. So Corey hit it right on the nose.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I
that
think the
person-
only growth is
person has to be comfortable with that strategy, or in 6 months, they're going to want to do something else. In a year, you want to look at something else. 2 years down the line, they're going to want to look at something else.
The growth
They have
is being uncomfortable is the growth. I think that's the growth is in being uncomfortable. Everything I wanted to do was uncomfortable that I accomplished. Everything. When you train your body, that pain, that lactic acid that build up, that's uncomfortable. That's when your body grows. If I did everything that made me happy, there's no growth in that. So
Let me ask you.
Let me finish my thought.
Go ahead.
If you come to me, look, I want to do it right. I want to retire. I want financial freedom by the time I'm X amount years old, and I give you a comprehensive strategy. You do the opposite. Right. You know, what does that tell me? I understand that you're comfortable, but
No, that
You
means
can't-
they
you
weren't
can't-
comfortable with the plan. They weren't comfortable with the strategy.
Right. I understand that makes you comfortable. I understand that. All right. I think I looked at houses here, and the houses here ain't my style. But again, it's about sacrificing for the greater good. I give you. I often talked about on the Power of Ownership podcast the Young Jock. Young Jock, when it come to find out, it was to go viral, but he was doing they had a version of not DoorDash, but Uber or Lyft in Atlanta, and he was doing that, and this is a multi-millionaire. But come to find out, he owned part of the company, but he was doing it, and everybody put him on blast, like, man, this dude doing ride sharing. So the strategy, what I'm saying is that sometimes we want to look good too much, and it's not the best strategy. Sometimes the best strategy is sacrifice it.
I get that. But my question to you is, if you take one step forward or you take 5 steps forward, is it progress?
Right.
Right? So you're saying, so what you're doing right now is the 30-year-old that decided they want to jump out on a limb and open a successful business and was actually successful is a better person or a better entrepreneur than the 50-year-old that had to wait until he had enough gumption in order to step out on his own and be an entrepreneur. But because he started late, you're saying that he's less than. Everybody has to go at their own. Everybody has to go at their own progress. Everybody has to go at their own comfort zone, and everybody's comfort zone is not the same.
No.
Your comfort
So
zone at 20 is not the same as everybody else's comfort zone at 20.
Who in the pros? Who in the NBA now? Your trade is basketball. Who got that by being comfortable? Who got in the NBA by being comfortable? Who?
So a lot of them got that by being comfortable.
So there was nobody did 500 shots a day. Nobody, rain, sleet, or snow, was out there in the heat playing pickup ball. Ain't nobody, they just all of a sudden it's all right. I'm the first.
I put everything that I got to guarantee that not everybody in the NBA gave that. That's the sole reason why they did that documentary, and they said Kobe was a different breed because everybody wasn't willing to sacrifice the same way Kobe did. Carmelo Anthony came out on the documentary and was like, man, I'm not getting up at no 4 o'clock in the morning and working out. I'm telling you, man, you know what I'm saying? People live in their comfort zone. That's not a good example, B. You got to go back to the warehouse. Come up with something else.
These dudes, you have to be elite. Would you agree in order to make it to the NBA?
You have to be elite. You have to be elite. But what I'm saying is that even though you're elite, it doesn't necessarily matter. You don't have to be outside your comfort zone and making these major sacrifices that you talk about in order to make it there. Is all I'm saying.
I think everybody in their own way in the NBA have made some sacrifices to get there.
Right. I'm going to stop both. I agree. I understand what both of y'all are saying, but the thing, B, is that people make a lot of decisions based on emotion. Right.
And that's the bottom line.
If somebody is uncomfortable with what they got going on, emotionally, they're gonna detach and they're gonna go the other way and they're gonna stop what they're doing. So I know it took me 15 years hard work and sacrifice to get to where I am in my life. So I understand what you're saying, B. But I knew what the plan was and I was comfortable doing it. And so I struck out and I went on it and I'm still living it. So that's what I'm saying. Like
my point is that our community, especially, not exclusively, but especially, reacts emotionally, and they like to stay in their comfort zone.
That's people in general. That's people in general.
Right, but like I said, not exclusively. I made the preface. You know, listen to what I'm saying.
But you put a strong emphasis on our people. You know we said not exclusive. People, period. You know what I'm saying?
But don't forget who I represent. So especially who I have a vested interest in to do better. So this is when I speak with the passion of that. Is that we react out emotion, and and that's what I meant by earlier. That's the ongoing theme you're gonna see is the difference between doing street business and scaling to be corporate. Corporate is there. It's out of your comfort zone. It's soaring to new heights. It's scaling to things that you've never done before. Getting out of your comfort zone. Don't know where it's going, and it's strategy long term is delayed gratification, and it's money that you're not even going to spend. It's money that your kids going to spend. So and the emotions got to be out of it. I understand that it feels good, but everything if you do everything that felt good, you will get much accomplished. You know, and that's just what it is. We got to grow up out of that, you know, and make long-term strategies that work. Again, I could go ahead and get $1 million house right now. What good is that going to do? Who I'm flexing for? You know what I'm saying? I don't have people over like that to have $1 million house. Why would I go? You know, I'm
Hey, I
saying
use that pool in the summertime.
I mean, I don't. It's, you know, it's not. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know, even that, I don't think even when I got it like that, I won't do $1 million house because of the taxes. It just don't make sense for me. You know, I'm gonna sit there and pay $20,000 a year in taxes, $30,000 a year in taxes. That don't make no sense to me.
You got to get out your comfort zone, B. Go and get that $1 million house. You too comfortable over there. You too comfortable.
Right.
Nah, it's about that's being smart. Even if I got to afford it, I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's about being smart. Again, I'm not flashy anymore. When I was trying to, you know, in what y'all call it, the GTD days, you know, I'm outside myself trying to impress others. Not you know, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn money. I don't care what people think. And as long as I like it and I'm comfortable with it, you know, I like my music that I like the neighborhoods that I like what I like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, two different things. It's like if you seeking something, the person gives you something, advice, you know, and that's what you want. That's what, you know, it might be strong medicine. It might be a hard path, but you need to go to that path if you want to achieve that thing. You can't get it comfortable. You know, it doesn't make sense. All right, let's go down that path. All right, so
take that same mindset and apply that to somebody else, B. Imagine if you was talking to yourself. You comfortable with what you comfortable with. You own your own path. You believe in what you believe in. Ain't nobody gonna talk you off of it. So why would you do that?
Nah, I think you're missing different. If I didn't go seeking anybody, that would be different. But if I seek Patrick's advice and I say, "Hey, Patrick, give me some of the best tax strategies on wealth and stuff like that," and you take your time and give it to me, and I do something else, why did I even waste Patrick's time like that?
Yeah, that's on you.
Right. So why would I waste another grown man's time?
Yeah, that's on you.
Regardless of what Pat, you go to Pat for advice. If you agree with it or you don't, you gonna do what you want to do. You gonna do what you comfortable with. At the end of the day,
right?
Nah, not if you want results. You're gonna do what's necessary if you want results, not what you're comfortable with. You're gonna do what's necessary.
What you think, Hyman?
Whatever they deem necessary, not necessarily
right. But you seeking his advice because you obviously know he's in the profession. He knows what he's talking about.
Right, but you seeking his advice, but it doesn't mean that you're comfortable with it or you're cool with going forward with it.
Right,
that's it. You're seeking the education from the professor. That's all you're doing.
I'm not arguing that point. My point is that sometimes, in order to get the growth, you have to do what's uncomfortable and doesn't feel good and it's only temporary. You know, for the greater good. Just like if I give you an example with Shaq. I know this is a bad example because he already rich with the Shaq one earlier. He could.
If you preface it with a bad example, why would you use it?
Well, this is something so you can relate.
Why would you? Oh, okay.
This is something so you can relate. So we talked about earlier. So with that Shaq, he bought it for $1 million. The value went to $5 million. If he was to sell it, he'll sell it for $5 million, but get taxed for $2 million. It's still a mean flip, streetwise. So it'll feel good to make that money, but at the same time, if you'd have waited and delayed that gratification, it would have been a greater good. This is the problem in a nutshell of our community. Wait, strategize, plan, and you'll get the greater good. You know, but the problem is it feels good. Oh man, I made me a flip, and I could go ahead and spend that money. And man, I made me $1 million now, straight off now.
So there, let me stop and say there's nothing wrong with making money and capital gains,
Right.
right? Because that means you made money, right? If you didn't have any capital gains, you didn't make no money that year, right?
Right.
And nobody wants to be in that place, right? So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna say
I think you
that.
take it to the extreme.
I'm not
one-
taking it to the extreme. I'm saying, okay, you made money, you got capital gains, cool.
Right. But Shaq makes money all kind of ways. The point is, with the Shaq video, he said he had a team of CPAs that strategized that.
That told
Okay,
him
That's
that
what she said.
Oh, here's
That's
the
what
thing,
she
though.
said.
So if you're gonna use this chick's preference, right? Let's say that was the situation was she wanted the 5 million. She could have gotten the 5 million if she would have liked it through another strategy and still would avoid having to pay capital gains tax. There are ways to do so. The only way is not just to hold
right.
to avoid capital gains tax.
Right.
And if you're gonna constantly say, well, you should be holding and playing the long game, technically, if you're constantly playing the long game, you're not really growing and building your assets either through real estate or through stocks or anything else, because all you're doing is just holding it until hopefully that your children's children can turn it over. But you have to keep making money or building assets. So you take an asset and you turn that asset over as much as you can to keep building it. The capital gains thing is a great idea of just deferring, of course, but you're still trying to make more money and make more flips or whatever you're trying to do. Don't think that just because you're trying to make money and you're doing so, you're not doing right. Like what Chavalis said, it's okay to do that. You just try to avoid the least amount of capital gains tax. So if it's
Right.
worth
You can
5,
manage that, and you can manage that. If you have a
you
good
manage
idea
that.
how much money you're gonna make this year in 2024, you know what to do, or we'll tell you what to do, right?
Right. But
Capital gains is progressive. It could be zero capital gains.
right.
It could be 15%, it could be 20, but it's based on everything else that you have going on, right? So
My
you
thing-
just gotta know the game that you're playing.
Let's get to the next one because it kind of ties in. Like I said, I want to preface this with this. Man, you got all kind of ways you can make money. I think broke is a choice nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Let's let the debate begin. You know, I think
Actually,
broke.
I had a conversation with somebody about that earlier this
Yeah,
week.
I think broke is a choice. After you see this video, you know, if y'all mind still the same, I'm open to the debate. That's what this channel's all about. So let's go ahead and I think broke is definitely a choice. Hold on a second.
I built my bed in my Kia Rio 2009. A lot of people have been asking for it, so here it is, guys. This bed allows me to live rent-free in my car and travel wherever I want in the U.S. and not have to pay for a hotel. First step is to take out the front seat and the back seat. I cut out the back seat, as you can see. Next, I built a bed frame out of scrap wood, 2x4s, and screws. I kind of just eyeballed it to make it level. I bought a 25 piece of plywood and cut it out in individual sections. Then I threw on some mattress foam padding. Trust me, guys, I'm adding way more padding after this. And I threw on an old sheet and stapled it down. I added hinges to the individual pieces so I could stow stuff down here like sleeping bags. And my whole goal for the bed was to make it to where I could lay down comfortably, flat on my back, and make sure I wasn't scrunched up in the car. And that's exactly what we did. Favorite spot to sleep is Cracker Barrel. I have a Coleman Camp stove, so I can cook just about anything on it. I go shower at Planet Fitness. I have a membership where I can shower anywhere. It's the Black Card. And I do DoorDash and Instacart to make some extra money. Main income is social media, and I stream every day on Kick at 5 p.m. So go follow me. Click the link in my bio. This is how I built.
So dude homeless. He built a bed in his car and he making money off of social media and doing DoorDash. You know, so come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? You can do
That's
anything.
that sacrifice you were talking about earlier. That's what that is.
Right, man. You can do
That's that sacrifice that I'm not doing. I'm not doing that sacrifice.
Not everybody's comfortable
It
doing that.
ain't no way
I don't want to sleep in my car either.
Right.
Which proves my point. How far are you willing to go to sacrifice? Would you do that, B?
I mean, we kind of doing the same thing. Yeah, don't look at the
fact that you said I mean, you know what I'm saying, let me know that you wouldn't. There ain't nowhere in hell. Just say it's nowhere in hell I would do that. B,
Well,
I'm 6'5". I'm not sleeping in no goddamn Civic. No way.
You're looking at it the wrong way. You're looking at it.
Okay.
Don't look at it.
Enlighten me.
Yeah, don't look at it per se as the activity he's doing. Is the activity that he wants to do that he's able to monetize.
Right.
So by us speaking, we know. Let's say we just having a conversation, and we got together as men sharpen men, iron sharpen iron, and we got together every week as a powwow and discuss philosophies and business strategies. We film it, which we're doing right now, and able to monetize it. That's a good strategy. So we doing what we want to do, and we making money. So not stay sleeping in the car, but I'm here on I'm chopping it up with group of my peers, and we can if we actually dump some money, we probably able to monetize this thing.
Right. That's a really good point, because y'all saw me. I was eating my dinner when we first got started.
Right.
Because I'm back to back banging out activities all day, and the grind don't stop. I'm with you there, B. But that video made me think about two things, and I guess it's good that you put it after some of what we talked about today,
Right.
because that young man, he had a strategy, right?
Exactly.
Right, that he was comfortable with,
Mm-hmm.
and he went and put it in place. And I was thinking, the second thing that I thought was like, man, okay, he's not paying rent. This kid is saving, $1,200, $1,500 a month. By the end of the year, he could be able to do something real nice for himself, whatever it is he wants to do. Right. But the thing is, he's comfortable with that plan, and he's setting up the foundation to set himself up for success, and he's grinding out day to day. So, kudos to him, but I'm not living in my car because I'm not comfortable with that. But this guy is. But the other takeaway is he had all those side hustles. He was DoorDash and Uber Eats, whatever else he said he was doing, and he was streaming, making money. Right. So he's living his dream, and building for whatever it is he's building in the future.
Let me put my disclaimer out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through Reading Rainbow right now, but I fail to understand, you know what I'm saying, the actual correlation between that actual video and the point that you was trying to make. I might need a picture or something, but I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that I got a wife and kids. It ain't no way in hell. How do I relate with that?
You talking about my point, or you talking about B's point?
Right. Don't look at the messenger.
Don't
look at the messenger. Look at the message. Don't look at the messenger. Look at the message.
Well, help me understand the message. That's all I'm asking, B. Help me understand the message. Draw me a picture.
The message is that he's able to monetize what he wants to do.
Right.
Okay. What does he want to do?
He wants to live in his car, live like a nomad, not be tied to anything, and document his life.
And make money while he's doing
it.
So, he's
wait. He's not monetizing his life because he
is monetizing his life.
He still does DoorDash.
Yeah, that he say he does that, and his main income is off of social media. Join me at Kick every 5 o'clock. I go live on Kick. They say his main income is social media. That's what he said.
It doesn't matter if he makes more from social media or DoorDash or whatever else he's doing, because it all adds up at the end of the week, right?
I would encourage that young man. Hey, man, get out your car, man. Find your place to stay, so you can use that great creativity to something else.
See, that you judging him. My point is, think outside of the box. This because his living situation is so unique. Don't forget, Mattress Mac said this the other day. I was watching his interview on the channel, channel, whatever the local channel is. He said that the internet has become the land of the absurd. Weird wins. So the weirder you get, just like Airbnb, the weirder the Airbnb, if it's underwater, if it's in an old shoe or something like that, that gets the most bookings. People want to experience weird now. So just the fact that he lives in his car, he's able to monetize it, and because it's weird. He cooks in his car. He showers at Planet Fitness. People want to see weird.
So once he does that for a year, and people come back and say, "Man, okay, if you are homeless and you get a car, you go from being homeless to living in your car to living in a place." If that's the thing, okay, that makes sense. If he says, "Well, look, this is me journeying my life from coming from being homeless to eventually I'm going to have a place to stay," perfect, and grow into society.
See, this is how y'all contradict yourself. Didn't y'all just say earlier, be comfortable on your pad you be comfortable on? Why you judging this dude if this is his path? That's what he's
Right.
comfortable
I'm not.
with.
Well,
I'm not
hold
judging
on.
him.
Time out. I'm
I'm not
not judging him. If he
Right.
wants to be a 26, 27-year-old virgin, that is his business. I have nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I had nothing to do with that. Hey, look, if he
I
wants to
guarantee
monetize
you,
and be a virgin,
He
that's
had to
fine.
lay down
I have
dead
nothing
on
to do
one
with it.
side. He had to
Hey,
lay down dead
no
on one
man, you
side.
got, to, you got to lay
No
down on one
criticism over
side,
here.
bro.
You do your thing.
He put
Do
sheets
your
in that
thing.
thing.
You got a sheet. You got memory foam and that thing and everything, man.
I'm too.
Hey, look,
No,
you ain't pulling no woman from the club to sleep in that. No
Man, you will
way.
be. Don't forget, you thinking this is the early 2090s, man. People
Right.
like weird now. Like, man, I guarantee you, he got groupies right now DMing him that want to hook up with him. I guarantee you.
No way.
I want
No
to see
way.
what it's like to spend a night in the car.
See what it's like to get on the show.
I'll say this.
It's
Before Brandon put on the video, he said that there's no reason in today's world for you to be broke.
correct.
Right. And then he played the video. And so I definitely agree with that. I had a talk with a young lady this week who she did everything she was supposed to do. She finished college. She got a degree. She hadn't been able to find a job since she graduated.
Yikes.
Right. And she was telling me, man, I don't have money to go
That happens
to
often.
this job interview because I don't have gas. I don't have money to go work on my licensing and study at the library because I don't have gas and this and that. And I had to tell her, I'm like, hey, in this world we live in today, there's no reason for you to be broke, right?
Correct.
Just like Brandon's preface, right? And come to find out after talking to her a week later, she was making money on TikTok doing cooking videos.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, well, now you just got to schedule your day out. You're going to do your applications in the morning, do your TikTok at night, pick up 1 or 2 side hustles for a couple hours every day, and you're making money. There's no reason for you to be destitute. And so I think that's what Brandon's point was when playing this video. Now, in regards to this guy getting some play or action and meeting girls, yeah, that's going to be hard.
That's something else. You didn't know that. Yeah, that's something else. We didn't take
It's
it
going to be hard for him to do. But if
Right.
his thing is, I don't want to be tied down,
Right.
that's one way you
right.
can do it. That's one way you can do it. If you don't want to be in corporate America, that's one way you can do it.
That is the thing. They do have reality shows on some of the big networks, and they got an RV, and that's all they do is travel in that RV. That nomad way of living is a thing.
Right.
It's
Not everybody's
No judgment.
yeah, it's not
No
everybody's cup of
judgment.
tea.
You get your money. You get your
Right.
money. You get your money
Right.
however you get your money. That's fine with me. I ain't got no
Right.
judgment against
It's safer than some countries, you know. You know what I'm saying? In America, you eat Cracker Barrel every night. That's pretty safe. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
sleeping in
better
no
than
crack
back down.
parking lot.
Right. So, but my point is this: like I said, to speak to that young lady, like I said, especially as a young lady, they got so many different ways that you can make some money. You know, so I mean, there's no excuse. There's no excuses. You know, they made the technology now.
And it was, I don't mean to cut you off, but the key point that I wanted to drive home to her was just because somebody's not giving you an opportunity, that don't mean you can't make a way for yourself in this
Right.
world.
The mind frame.
Right?
The
You keep
mind-
applying for those jobs, but you go out and grind and make it happen every day. Right.
Right.
And that take a whole lot of stress off of you.
Your mind
Right.
keeps you broke. Your mind keeps you impoverished. Your
Right.
mind keeps you. Your mind keeps matter follows mind. So whatever your mind has set on, that's what you want. You want here it go. That's how it goes. So you want to be broke, you have to really try to be broke nowadays because it's money you can stumble upon. You know, you can stumble upon $1 million nowadays.
I don't know. Well, show me where
I don't
the
know
trip-
about that, but
trip.
Man,
okay.
look at Ice Spice and all them.
They ain't
I wanna-
stumble.
I
That's
want to
for sure.
$1 million.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
get
come
you
on.
you get you a BBL and a breast lift. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
I don't think you got to be there.
you in there. You in there,
Yeah.
B.
Well, you could.
Yeah.
They got some of these people with no talent for show. That's millionaires. You know, so you got, and you know, and that's what part of the second leg I played on this. Like, man, I guarantee you, I look this dude probably making a whole bunch of money off of YouTube, probably $7,000-8,000 more than most people make at 9 to 5, making $2,000-3,000, sleeping in the car.
God bless him.
You know, so
God bless him.
it's just a matter of let's go to the next one. For time's sake, we ran out of an hour, so yeah, let's go ahead and get these last ones out and wrap it up. Really, we could take our time, and it'd be Chris, be the early bird.
Well, now, This is what 1.3 million gets you. New Braunfels, Texas. New Braunfels is basically the middle child. San Antonio and Austin. New Braunfels is best known for the Comal River, Schlitterbahn Water Park, a beaver that looks like he has a head injury. I guess this place is kind of weird, but whatever. Come on in. This was the model home for KC Custom Home, who in my opinion, all over the competition. Oh, hell yeah. Beautiful ceiling, Planet Fitness size fan, completely open, your indoor and outdoor living space. I wish I could have watched Taylor Swift win the Super Bowl here last night. First model home I've been in, the fireplace doesn't suck. To the left, we've got a pocket office. Pocket means small. To the right, guest rooms, bathroom, oh yeah, bedroom, oh yeah, another bedroom, oh yeah, and another bedroom. I'm digging the dinosaur theme. Let's move on. Custom designed and built by Fred Flintstone himself. Yabba dabba, oh yeah. Think deepest custom cabinetry, biggest island, 6 burners, double oven, a flat top griddle, and more knobs than a fucking DJ. Let's move on. Pocket office number 2 and your primary. Those tray ceilings though, double tier, double this. Y'all ain't ready for this. Try not to yourself, but I guess if you absolutely have to, this would be the room to do it in. Got this gorgeous Alice in Wonderland ass standalone tub. Ladies, your side, brother, you live a good life. Small sacrifices create sustainable happiness. But hands down, my favorite part of this incredible home, be honored to be naked in here. I don't get it, Brad. Seems like a normal shower to me. Well, it's not. Built-in sauna. People actually live this way. Let's move on to the left. Fully built out closet. Of course, it's connected to your laundry room, which just makes sense. So if you're ready to live your best life, call your boy.
So why did I put that in there?
We have
It's
no
really
idea.
to piggyback that last video. So now it's even leaked into our profession. Just getting creative. Now it's unprofessional is the new thing. And they got people that's biting it. He's one of the biggest in this new space. They got 3 other people that's biting him. So now it's cursing and wisecracking listings and talking BS is not a trend. So people try anything to be different and try to stand out and try to go viral. So this is the world we live in, and it's only going to project this 10 years out. What do you think? How do you think this is going to be 10 years from now? If this is the current snapshot, 2024, and look at this dude following. He's out there right in San Antonio. He has 108,000 followers. He's one of the biggest now in the space within the last few months, just off of these viral videos.
All right, B. I'm gonna tell you this right here now, though. I'm gonna speak for lemons and lemons only. I am 45 years old. I'm not going to appeal to a 25-year-old. I barely appeal to a 35-year-old. I can appeal to a 45-year-old and maybe a 55 and a 60.
Right.
Who he's trying to appeal to, I have no idea. Because anybody with $1 million, who can afford $1 million home, do you honestly think they would take them serious?
I don't know. It's changing.
No. Wait a minute, B. We have been living on this planet a little bit longer than probably he has. Family, you know who that? They're gonna giggle at him, they're gonna laugh at him, but are they gonna call him to say, I want you to help me buy that $1 million home?
It's all about who can get the most eyeballs on them.
I hear you, dog. I hear you.
That's up for debate. It's changing. Donald Trump was the president, and whoever thought? I thought when 2015, when Donald Trump ran, we thought it was absurd. Think back. Like he'll never make he'll never get the nomination. Oh crap. He got the nomination. Then the grabbing gate came out. He's sunk right now. Still got elected. You see what I'm saying? Nah, times have changed. The standard, we thought, remember, the prestige of a president had to be almost like he was perfect. You know, he had to be the certain criteria. Obama broke that mold. Then we rebounded with Trump. Trump cursing at his rallies and shit like that. You know, had ex-wives, presidency. Like Reagan was the first divorced president. You remember this? So times are changing rapidly, bro.
Okay.
That's my point. This dude is viral. Hold on, I'm setting up the next clip. I'm doing it.
Okay. So my thoughts on it are, okay. You said he had 100 and something thousand people watch the video.
No. He had 108,000 followers.
Okay, so
that video, I just went off, and I'm hold on. Give me a second. Let me set up this next video, and I'll tell you how many spins that particular video, how many views.
Well, I'm a stats guy, right? So I'm thinking, okay, if he had 100,000 people watch it, 10% probably gave him a call to look at a house. Maybe he'll get one new client from that in $1 million house. Is that fair to say?
Give me 1 second. Let me set up this, and I'll give you the exact stats. Let me set this up first because I'm having problems.
And then to Hyman's point, right? Yeah, I wouldn't take him seriously, right? But if his target market is somebody that is 27 or 28 and they're a high earner, maybe that's his niche,
Don't forget that millennials got money too, and I don't think he's
right.
So
we call him Henry's, high earning, but not yet rich.
Not
right?
rich. Yeah. So that particular video had 193,000 views.
Right.
It had 10.3 thousand likes. It had 5,293 shares, and it had 219 comments. The comments include stuff like, hold on a second. Wasn't they cracking jokes? Wasn't this house they were trying to raffle off, watching football, committing tax fraud? They got all kind of little, but it's realtors, it's people. They're having fun. He's providing that dopamine rush that they seek when they get on Instagram.
Right.
He's right. He's right on the trend.
Out of that video and probably the rest of them that he's done, he's probably gathered some new clients from those videos.
Exactly, because
sold house or whatever he was trying to do with that house.
Don't forget that these millennials are not all right. I don't want to be like the parents. I want to, they've been a casual Fridays and stuff like that. It's changed.
So I was reading an article Monday, and it was saying that video has gotten rid of the radio host. You know how back in the day, people used to get the radio to prove that they were an expert and talk about whatever topics that they would talk about. And they were saying video has killed that, right? It's like now there's no need to pay, whatever that radio time cost on your favorite radio station.
Right. Nobody listens.
You can do that with video and have greater results with less cost.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think they get a little bit late on that one. I think that
I still listen to the radio.
Yeah, I mean,
I listen to sports talk radio though, but I listen to the radio.
But see, that's been replaced with the Shannon Sharps and the Cam Newtons and the Pivots and the Brandon Marshalls and
so is that out of that? So she brought that up out of that demographic that's listening to the Cam Newtons, the Shay Sharps. I listen to all of it actually. I really don't buy nothing from them. But if I listen to on my sports radio, I've actually called some of the advertisers that I've heard on them. I've never used none of the advertisers on any of the podcasts I listen to.
Right. But
why is it?
I mean, but the whole thing is building a brand. I think with Shannon Sharp, don't forget they're monetizing the views. The average money's off of the advertisers whether you watch it. So you don't necessarily have to buy that particular product.
Well, the idea is that if you see it enough, you're going to do something. You're going to buy it.
Well, that's what the advertisers are hoping. For that particular content creator, they're hoping that they're just about the views that the people will pay money to advertise on their show.
The statement was that nobody's listening to the stat was about how video has replaced radio as far as the advertising tool. I can tell you right now, when I listen to my sports talk radio, I've actually called a roofer from there. I've called a car lot from there because I listen to it all the time. Let me see what they talk about, see if it's really that. I have yet to call DraftKings, which is one of the biggest sponsors of the Shay Sharp Show. I have yet to order AG1, which is one of the advertisers for, I think, Brandon Marshall's podcast. And I listen to them faithfully every day. Well, most of them.
But that's the point, is you building a brand, not necessarily The point I'm trying to make, I think, besides from Patrick's point, is that you can build your brand with thinking outside the box. You know, so
Well, that's the thing. It's not outside the box anymore.
No, it's not.
right.
It is the box.
But he's the first that I've seen to be. Everybody puts on a facade, even myself. It's, you know, try to talk more proper, trying to. He's the first, one of the first, and now there's a bunch of. He's doing something right because there's a bunch of biters in the space now. Whenever you're doing something right, you're gonna have somebody identical twins. So he's the first to kind of, all right, I'm gonna talk how I really talk, and put it on film and make it funny.
Who was that? Shannon Sharp?
No, I'm talking about this guy, Brad the Realtor, out of San Antonio.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and he's the first that I've seen in this space. Now they got a lender trying to do the same thing out of Washington. They got another, they got a Hispanic guy out of Houston trying to do the same thing. So everybody's trying to bite his steez, you know, but he's the, you know, it's something different. Sarcasm and stuff like that. That's, you know, in the realty, but a lot of people, that's how a lot of people talk. Some people can relate to that. It is eye catching and it's different. So that's what it is. It's what do you, and you can monetize off it. You know, one of my favorite guys is Ben Mala. Ben Mala is a big Jewish dude from New York, and all he does is talk smack all day. But people love him, you know, and he's worth like $500-700 million. You know, but all he does is buy real estate, and he start filming that, him and his kids. And that's one of my favorite shows that I watch him faithfully. You know, but he's himself. You know, so that's my point. Your personality is something you can monetize something nowadays. You know?
So let me ask y'all this. I know I do videos. I know Brandon does. Hyman, do you do video? Or Corey, do y'all do any video?
No video.
Consistently enough.
Yeah, we got two
No
dinosaurs. they don't they don't want to embrace this new age, but you know, I mean, it still works. Everything works to a point. You can still
consistently.
Now look, I know, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to social media and you know, kind of marketing and that type of thing, you know what I'm saying, I know it works. You know what I'm saying? It no qualms about it, but I just hadn't gotten there.
Right. Yep. But I embrace it because I think it's fun. I mean, my thing is, I might as well. I just want to have fun, man. You know, I think it's fun. I think it's fun to express yourself. I think it's fun to talk and have people relate to your views. So why not why not make some money and have fun, man?
Yeah, and for me personally, I like it because I don't have to have the same conversation over and over again.
Exactly. And people get to know you.
I just got a video on that. Check out this link, and shoot it to you.
Right.
Text you, oh, I talked about that 2 weeks ago. Check out this.
We used to talk about this all the time in Mattress Max marketing meetings. And this was almost damn near 15 years ago now. I would say 12, 13 years ago now. But we used to talk about this all the time. Nowadays, this is 12 years ago. Things are becoming more and more compartmentalized. People want to do business with people that look like them, talk like them, think like them, act like them. So, you know, the days are gone where everybody liked the same two albums. There was Thriller out and that was it. You know, so everybody had to listen to Thriller. Nowadays, you got so many artists that, you know, that artist doesn't need to capture the whole market. As long as he has his 100,000 followers, and then that 100,000 followers is able to give him $7 a piece, he could eat. He could be, or $10 each, he could eat. He could become a millionaire off his core audience. You don't have to have the whole world. You just have to have your little slice, and that's where it's going. You know, right. So everybody's not going to be your cup of tea. You know,
my slices may not be on social media.
Yeah, and they have a dude called that. They have a Gen X dude, like, you know, he's talking about how Gen Xers are not. Some of them are, some of them aren't on social media. Like, you know, but see, my thing is I'm a Gen Xer, but I don't feel a day over 35. You know what I'm saying? So I'm young at heart. You know, so you know, so I always approach life with that vigor. All right, we got two more what you call them, and we out of here. Let's get these last two out of the way.
Let's get it.
You know who this is? How about this? How about this? Of course you do. And how about this dude? And this one? What about him? You go to work every day saying that you want to make money, yet you don't study it. How is it that you can tell me about these entertainers? You can tell me facts that is not written in a book, but yet you don't know the richest black man in America, Robert F. Smith, founder of Vista Equity Partners, $8 billion net worth. You don't know David Stewart, second richest black man in America, $6 billion net worth, founder of Worldwide Technology. You don't know Alexander Karp, the sixth richest black man in America, the co-founder and CEO of Palantir, another technology firm. This is why, statistically, our people don't own anything. We have to stop focusing on what they put in front of us and learn to study value. A mind is a deadly thing to waste. My people perish due to lack of vision. Send this to somebody you care about. Word is love. Gone.
Right. So I had to.
Man, my boy was aggressive on there, huh?
I mean, sometimes we
admit that shit.
We gotta be
He admitted
aggressive
that.
to wake some people up, man. You gotta be aggressive to wake some people up. I mean, but that's true, man. I feel sometimes, and it's just part of life. You know, you gotta kind of, you know, you can't go against the grain most of the time. A lot of people, the barbershop talk is gonna be who's better, LeBron or Jordan. It's the same thing over and over. You come in and say, man, we should be talking about who's the richest, who, you know, something else. And we don't know anything about taxes, but we know about these entertainers. You know what I mean? So I think it's just we go along with the flow just because it feels good. I mean, it's socially acceptable in our community. Just all right, the latest song you heard about Sexy Red, you heard about this one. That's just the culture, man. You know, I think I think it's a long time before we even switch that. You know, I've been around people and I've seen. You know, don't forget I went to college in Iowa. That haven't even heard of the Martin Show. They've never watched an episode of The Jeffersons or Sanford and Son, or don't even know what you're talking about.
Absurd.
You know,
Absurd.
That sounds absurd to us, but you know, they just don't know. You know, it's not a bigger thing in other communities. Entertainment is not as big as it is in our community.
Here's the thing: we don't glorify the journey. We glorify the destination. We look at people, you know what I'm saying, to see how much money they have, how successful they are, but nobody's interested in how they got to that point. A lot of them talk about how they failed at so many businesses before they got to the point where they was actually successful.
Right.
But along the journey through all those failed businesses, you learn lessons, you learn things that I'm saying to help you become successful in your next business. So you know what I'm saying, that's what I think. You know what I'm saying, we kind of get locked into the drama of it. The drama, you know what I'm saying? Oh, what's the drama? Who they arguing with? Who they beefing with? Whatever the case may be. How about listening to 50 Cent interviews and understanding the way his mind is? Why he thinks the way he does. You know what I'm saying? How he got to where he is now. He started off as a rapper, and now he's one of the biggest black entrepreneurs out there. You know what I'm saying? That's actually doing something for the culture. But nobody's interested in that. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to see who he's beefing with, who he's trying to ask for, you know what I'm saying, money due on Monday. You know what I'm saying? People worried more about that than actually, you know what I'm saying, the lessons and the principles that he used to get to where he is. And it's sad.
I think to be more pointed, more specific, is our people only worry about that. You know, you go in different cultures, you go in different meeting rooms, and go in different huddles. It's a different culture. It's a different conversation. You know, they talk about the business venture. What's that guy name? That rapper guy? Yeah, you know, he that owned. You know, so they don't talk about the beef. They talk about the business deal that just did the deal with such and such.
But here's the thing: a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we are in those rooms to hear those nuggets that they're giving. But you know what I'm saying, we don't want to hear that. We walk off on that.
No, I don't think. I think our conversation is different in the barbershop. Again, I've been in several barbershops. In fact, I've got into heated arguments in a barbershop. I hope he's watching this. I had a barber that started cutting my hair that was since I first moved to H-Town, and we fell out last year because he got on some emo stuff. This guy, he's my age. Actually, he's older than me. He's pushing 50, and you're talking about getting some red boots. I don't know if you remember those viral red boots, the Mario boots. You know, that was popular. You're like, man, dude, your hair is all gray. and you're talking about paying $375 for some Mario boots, bro. Are you serious? You know, and this is the type of stuff they had. This is the type of talk we talk about at the barbershop. Man, with the right fit, man, I'll kill him. But you don't know, you still renting. I'm serious.
You don't know, B, with the right fit, you go kill him.
Right fit, man. These Mario boots, these rubber boots that's overpriced. That probably cost like $1 to make, to pour and mold, and But I'm gonna pay $375 because I can take a picture with them, and you might get a girl off of that. But you married though. What are we doing?
We are a product of our environment. Our environment, actually puts on a pedestal, when you have these certain type of things. You have these certain type of clothes on, these Louis Vuitton, these Gucci's, or whatever the case may be. But nobody actually, understands the process that people actually get to make the money to actually buy that stuff. And then here's the other thing too, is that people take social media as full throttle, 100% true. And a lot of this time, people be on social media stunting.
Right.
Like, they renting their house, but they acting like they doing so much. They got so much money, whatever the case may be. It's just, we got to become less shallow and more deeper in our thoughts. But that's just going to be a progression.
I mean,
Right.
so you're trying to have deep discussion with random people who don't know you and you have not got to know them. Just because he's cut your...
Didn't I just say he's been cutting my hair since 2005? Since I've been...
Hear me out.
All right.
He's been cutting your hair since 2005. Have you actually talked about something other than something that would increase the relationship where you feel comfortable talking to him about money and about being better?
All the time.
Nah, either you think one way, he thinks another about it. He doesn't feel like your relationship is good enough to talk to him about what he should not do with his money other than just stuck with it. I give you an example for me and my barber. My barber blessed me with the opportunity to help him get one of his investment properties. He thought enough of me to say, well, I'm gonna work with them because we have established a relationship to where we can do business. Yes, in the barbershop, yes, they do talk about the LeBron, the football, the basketball, talk about women. They talk about all the same things that every other barbershop talks about. But when it's him and I, we are discussing things at a much higher level than anything else that's in the shop. You cannot think that you're gonna have a deeper discussion with a person that don't know you from the dirt in the ground. Just because you cut your hair for 12 years does not make that a relationship. Relationship is not established by time.
More like 17.
It's not established by time, dog. It's established by mutual understanding and respect for each other. He respects you because you pay him his $30 every week. That's as far as it goes.
Their haircuts was $30 in 05. They're not $30.
It started off at $5, man.
My bad. He respects you for the $5 you paid him every week.
Right. Now, he respects me because he seen my business. My business was right next to the barbershop right there in South Park. So, he knows our business, and he comes to me for advice on cryptocurrency and how do I file these taxes, stuff like that. So he knows I'm a businessman. He's seen the business. He's seen me grow. He's seen me start off coming with in 04, well, actually 05 with the baggy jeans on and with the cuffs and dragging the ground in the back, that is ripping in the back, and with the what else we used to wear back then, and with the what shirts was popular back then? We used not FUBU, but right after FUBU.
Pele.
Nah, I used to rock a black tee a lot, just the black tees.
You had your tall tee on. You had your tall tee.
Has he talked to you about how he can?
Yeah, the white tee. What you doing, B?
I was black tee. I'm still black tee kind of to this day.
He had the black Air Forces.
Yeah, no, I don't wear Air Force. I don't wear Jordans. I used to rock Gators, man. I used to rock Morris and Phoenix.
Now my position on that is a
little money.
Because when I go to the barbershop, and even if it's somebody new, they'll typically ask me what I do, right? And then I'll tell them, and then that sparks a conversation about business, investments, whatever. And so it could be somebody who, hey, I'm just on this side of town. I got a meeting in a couple hours. I need a fresh cut, and one of those conversations will crank up. I just think, kind of like what Corey said, in that environment, people, and especially barbers, because they're businessmen themselves.
Exactly.
They are, you know, at the end of the day, and they have ideas and thoughts and feelings and questions, but they think other people in the barbershop don't know anything about anything, and so all they talk about is BS.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when I sit in a chair and they say, "Oh, what's up, bro? How's your day?" "Oh, it's going good." You know, whatever. "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, yeah, I'm a financial planner." "Oh, word? Oh, I was thinking about taking a look at this or taking a look at that, or what do you think about this?" Right. So I just think if more people share their knowledge in some kind of way in the barbershop or bring it up, you know, "Hey, what do y'all think about this?" or "What do y'all think about that?" There'll be a conversation to be had, because everybody in the barbershop has an opinion. We know that, right?
Of course.
Right. Well, I think Earn Your Leisure, them Earn Your Leisure boys started the conversation where we start to look at entrepreneurship and starting to take, you know, stocks and stuff serious. I think this is the wave within the last few years. However, I think it's still too much foolishness going on as far as this not taking life serious and not taking strategizing and actually planning out. I don't think I think we're bad planners. I think we too emotional. We reactive instead of proactive. You know, and I think that it goes to show you what you're important. What you talk about the most is where your priorities are. You know, it's like I said, talking about celebrities and stuff like that. I think Jay-Z even said that around, like, what does Bill Cosby and something else have to do with me? You know, you talking about Bill Cosby, you talking about all the celebrities, what they have to do with me? You know, you need to be hyper focused on your goal. Andrew Tate said this the other day, and I'm taking this as law. He said, "There's no way you could fail at anything if you tried your absolute best. If you did everything you could do to succeed, there's no way you could fail at anything."
I agree with that.
You know, so if you tried your absolute best, you did everything humanly possible that you could do, you're gonna see some success. It's possible. It's possible.
It may not happen tomorrow, but down the road it will happen.
Something's gonna happen. So you got to, if you failed at something, you got to ask yourself, did I do everything that I could do? The most likely answer is no. You didn't do everything you could do. You know, and that's what most people think. They want to stumble upon success. They want to, you know, they do the conversation earlier. They do what feels comfortable, but at the same time, you want financial freedom. And I'm telling you, path to go, but yet you want to have some kind of stumble upon this. It's all strategy. It's all plan. It's all step by step. 1 + 1 = 2. It's all taken inch by inch is a cinch. Yard by yard is hard. So this is what it is. Let's go to this last one, and then we can wrap it up. This was the perfect one for Hyman, man. I hope Hyman didn't run out of battery or something. You know, you got about
ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. He ain't got a long battery.
Guys, listen to this, okay? The DOJ says they want the buyer broker and the seller broker commissions when people buy homes to be decoupled, where it's not figured into the listing side, where the buyer can't negotiate their own commissions. This is what they want. They want the buyer to negotiate their commissions with their agent. But the DOJ quoted, and they said what should happen is the buyer should put it in the offer when they want to purchase the house. They put it in the offer for the seller to pay the buyer's commission, and this is how much. And so then we're right back in that scenario to what? The seller determining what they're willing to pay the buyer agent commission. We're literally the DOJ is putting us right in the exact same spot that we are right this second. It's crazy. It's just a paper shuffle. You're just saying, oh, we're not going to offer it up front. The seller's just going to determine what it's going to be on the backside. I mean, come on, guys. It's wild. It's wild. I did a full video on this. You can put in the comments right now, DOJ, to get a copy sent to your DM. And I broke down all the possible scenarios for real estate agents. Right, so dive in there. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's keep crushing it. This don't mean nothing.
Right, so that's the last one for the night, man. I had to end it on that, man. I think it's gonna be a while before they do anything, but I think that's stupid. I think
it is.
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
I mean, the sellers determine what it is now. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the MLS, the sellers will tell you, you know what I'm saying, if they're going to pay you if they're paying a buyer's agent a full 3%, 2.5%, 2%, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? They tell the listing agent that. And the listing agent puts it on the listing. So I mean, it is paper shuffling. But you know what I'm saying, you know, when it comes to lobbyists and that whole political thing, they'll do unnecessary things just kind of appease people.
Right. I don't see what's the. I don't get. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's still negotiation. It's what you agreed upon. You know, it's what you agreed upon. You agreed upon it up front. As the seller, they included in the price of the house.
Yep.
That's what you agreed upon. I mean, I think that's the easy way. What the buyer's really paying for it. I mean, I don't get it. I'm scratching my head on it. I just don't get it.
So I'm kind of lost. So the video it kind of faded in and out on my end. So what's the issue with the DOJ?
Well, they're trying to iron out and trying to change the pay structure for buyers agents. There's been a series of lawsuits. I don't know if you caught up on that about consumers feeling that they're paying too much commission for buyers agents. You know, which is false because with how the workflow goes right now with real estate is that when you say that you want to list the property, you get with a listing agent and they negotiate their commission. 6%, 7%, 8%, whatever it might be. They split part of that commission with a buyer's agent, you know, and they do that to actually put chum in the water for sharks. Like, so for example, for the MLS, they'll put, I'm offering 3% of my commission for you to bring your buyers in so we can get this thing sold quicker.
Oh, okay, got it.
Without that chum in the water, the sharks won't attack it. You go to the bottom of the barrel. You go to the bottom list. I give you an example. The first deal I closed, it sat on the market for 4 months because the listing agent put the buyer's commission at 2%. Nobody looked at it. As soon as we put it at 3%, it was gone within a week because now it's on everybody's radar.
Right.
You know, because nowadays with the splits and everything like that, 2% is not enough for buyers agent. With, you know, for the most part, so they're not even going to look at it. They're going to steer their customers to a higher commission. This is what it is. So you're hurting buyers by trying to I don't want to say they're trying to demonetize, but they're trying to deter or they're trying to minimize buyers' commission, buyer side. But with this, I don't even know if they're trying to minimize. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. It's just confusing.
I don't know. I think it's a transparency thing for the person who's looking to buy. Is that right?
No,
So
it's a transparency thing already because you to go if Corey goes to the Patrick, you want to sell your house,
right?
And Corey says my fee is 7%. You have the right then and there to say yay or nay.
Right.
You say yay. All right. All right. Corey's gonna say, all right, including my 7%. This is what I think we should list the house at. Now, what Corey's going to do is put that out there on MLS that I'm going to take 3 of this 7% and share it with a buyer's agent because I want their network, and I want that network working for me instead of after. He could keep the whole 7%, but when he put it on MLS, it's going to say 0, and nobody's going to be rushing to show him that house because they're not getting paid anything.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I was thinking the DOJ. They passed a lot of laws recently in regards to the work that I do, and it's all about, you know, best interests for clients. And so I thought it was something along those lines. But what you're saying makes total sense. I mean, it sounds like they want the person who's coming in to buy now to agree to what their agent is going to get paid.
No, they really just, like you said, shuffle paperwork. So now he's saying that it should be negotiable to the seller on as far as on the contract. So nothing up front. I guess we negotiate the listing price. I can do 3 to 4% on my listing side, and then when the buyer, I guess, submits an offer, that's negotiable to the seller as well. But you're doing it. All you're doing is moving it from the backside. I mean, to the backside, from the front to the back. Am I right, Corey? So instead of all up front, you negotiate that 7. You negotiate that 3 or 4 up front, and then 3 or 4 in the back.
So here's the thing, Pat, that I got from the video. What the DOJ is saying right now, currently as it sits. Let's say Pat is a real estate agent. You know what I'm saying? You're a listing agent. You go to a listing appointment and you negotiate with the actual seller. you would tell the seller, hey, look, we're going to do 6%. 3% is going to go to me when I sell your house. 3% is going to go to the buyer. What the DOJ is saying is that on the buyer side agent needs to negotiate with the client. Okay, I'm going to get a certain amount. This is what I'm going to get. I'm going to get 2%. I'm going to get 3%, whatever the case may be, just to represent you. But then once we find a house that we actually want to go after and that we actually want to take down, then you're saying it's on the seller of whatever they're going to pay me. Outside of what I negotiated with the buyer on the buyer side. So it all roads lead back to the seller. Either the seller is going to pay you that. I don't care what you negotiate. If I, Pat, have a buyer, I negotiate 3%. But I go show you a house which a seller only is going to pay 2%, then I'm going to get 2%. So long story short, you know what I'm saying? The DOJ is kind of taking you around in a circle and just adding the extra step. Hey, look, we need you to negotiate what your commission is going to be with the actual buyer. Well, that's unnecessary because when I find you a house, if that actual seller is offering me 3%, I don't give a damn if I negotiated 2% with you or not. I'm getting that 3%.
Right.
Because that's
So
what the seller agreed to.
it just sounds like more paperwork and documentation then.
That's
Well,
it. It's just an
I
extra
think what
step
it's going to be
unnecessarily.
is going to force people. There are some lazy agents, a lot of lazy agents that I'm seeing that don't have the uncomfortable conversation up front with the client that, hey, I need a buyer's representation, that you're going to pay me 3% regardless. That's what they're trying to force everybody to have. That some will just take it. All right, let's go ahead and look, and then don't have them sign anything, and then hopefully the seller pay, and hopefully everything works out. A lot of agents do that, So
that sounds like a rookie to me.
Well, a lot of agents do that. A lot of agents just start looking, start sending you houses, and they ain't got no paperwork on you.
Yeah, and just hope to get something. Yeah, hope to catch
hope for the homeboy hookup, But you supposed to have, just like a lawyer, you seek I can do my consultation with you, but once I start sending you addresses and stuff like that, I need to be your representative. You need to sign this paperwork and saying that, hey, if you find something, I get paid 3% regardless if the seller's offering or not. That's how I would start my business off. That's how I'm going to do it regardless. So if it's 3%, let's just find something that's 3%. Other than that, they need to come out of pocket. And most people don't want to do that. They barely have enough already to spend with their 3%, 3.5% they have to put down. So that's why a lot of people fight it. A lot of people just so lazy they don't want to have that conversation. And then so it's like buyer's agent is gonna fizzle out because now if you that type of buyer's agent, not only you gonna have to negotiate with the customer, then you got to back door and negotiate with the seller, try to get the seller to pay you. You see what I'm saying?
Unnecessary. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, but
Well, I know one thing: when the DOJ when they institute something, it takes about a year or so before it happens.
Right.
But when they do it, it's law.
Right. But I think it's just gonna drive a lot of weak people out the business if they institute it like that. It's just gonna be more steps.
Right. Yeah, but also in my experience, they do go back and change stuff that they put in place too, over and over again. So it'll probably be a while before that shakes out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be. I'm not even worried about. Like you said, ain't nothing gonna change.
Right.
People still gonna be doing the same thing. And I think they're gonna change it right back once they see that all the traffic that you think you're gonna get, now it's gonna be all on the listing agent. Now that listing agent better be a hell of a marketer. You're gonna have to drive. You're gonna have to find all your buyers. Because if you got the way they're not offering anything out there, and everybody got to pay them out of pocket, or you got to negotiate back with the seller again to get paid. Nobody ain't gonna be rushing to get those. It's almost like you could damn near help yourself. Because people ain't gonna help you if they're not gonna help you if they ain't promised to get paid. Would you?
Right.
Not at all.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like you really doing the customer disservice. Now you got people that really need agents to find them the best deal. A lot of people, that's why they hire agents. Can't do it for themselves. Some people are savvy enough to do it themselves, but don't forget that the listing agent that is representing the seller. They represent the seller's best interest. Who's going to represent the buyer's best interest? They're not experts in the real estate.
Right. Right.
So you just
Right.
heard the buyer. You just heard buyers.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like that causes a whole lot of other problems.
Right.
Right.
But
In regard to-
it came down to a few families, 1 or 2 families that thought they were paying too much commission.
Right. In regard to best interest for the buyer, that caused a lot of problems.
Right.
If they have no representation.
They mess around and won a lawsuit, so now they're talking about changing, and it's all of a few greedy people. All right, so let me get this right. I negotiated. So Patrick, I go to Patrick for financial advice, wealth management. You told me your fee. Your fee is 6%. I look at my first invoice and I think I'm paying too much. I'll turn back around and sue you. Does that make sense?
Nope.
That's what just happened.
DOJ
And they won.
6% though.
Huh?
But no, you're exactly right. Hey, before we wrap up, I'm glad I got the 2 brokers on the line. Right. So inflation came out super high last week.
Right.
And so now I'm thinking rates aren't going down in May at all. What are y'all hearing on your end? What does it look like?
Well, what I'm seeing is
I don't
that
think rates going down.
This year?
I see rates shot up that day, and then they came right back down.
Right.
Yep. So I think it's gonna be higher. I think it's gonna drop, like I said, May, June a little bit, and then they might drop a little bit more, get closer to the election. But I don't think we're gonna see 3s or 4s, so we might see 5s.
So you guys still think that they'll bring them down a bit in May, June, July-ish?
Right.
I'm thinking, my opinion, I'm saying I'm thinking third or fourth quarter. Third or fourth quarter. Because I'm saying a lot of the decision that they're making is based upon inflation. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get inflation down to 2%. And it came back way higher, you know what I'm saying, this past time. I believe it was a little bit over 3%. So we're a long ways away from the target rate that they're trying to actually get it to. And I don't think that's going to happen within the next few months where they're going to actually be able to get it down to 2%, like they're saying, because they want to get it down to that point before they're talking about slashing rates. Because once they slash rates, it's not going to do nothing but increase.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? I think we're a little bit. I still think we're a little bit of ways away before the Feds actually start slashing rates.
Right.
Cool.
Which I'm not in a rush anyway because I'm not equipped for this refi boom yet. I'm still trying to get some people. Once ahead, I want to capitalize on it. So I'm trying to get some. Y'all looking for a job? Go ahead, hit me up in my DMs, man. If y'all looking for a job, I'm looking for real. I'm looking for loan officer assistance, processes, the whole 9. So come on aboard. You know, so I'll be equipped for this refi boom. So I'm not rushing it at all.
Well,
so you know, but yeah, it's gonna happen.
But
this
now
year.
it's still a good time to buy, though. You know
Yeah,
what
it's
I'm
still
saying?
a good time.
It's still a good time to buy because you know what I'm saying right now, when they start slashing rates, best believe every man, woman, and child, you know what I'm saying, is coming for actual house. And then now, you know what I'm saying, the competition has gotten stiffer. Now you're in multiple offer situations, you know what I'm saying? It's just unnecessary. It's better to get in now, and then when interest rates go down, then you just refinance. And you can do a streamline refinance, less docs and everything. It's a quicker period or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you have the house that you actually want to be in. Now you just got to do the best financial decisions for yourself, you know what I'm saying, in order to pay off that mortgage faster or build equity faster.
And I want to say this as well. You in a unique period as well where everybody we're coming off that PPP stuff, and a lot of people spent all that money, and then 23 was record slow for everybody. 23 was probably the worst I've seen it since 08, 09. As far as everything was slow, you know. So a lot of people are in debt. So you're seeing a lot of people selling those duplexes, selling that extra home in order to pay down credit card debt or refinancing and pulling equity out. You know, so and some people that extra property. Again, one of my loan officers, his parents, the house that I financed for them, they let their Airbnb go. So a lot of people Airbnbs were slow. A lot of people got behind, so they're letting those extra properties go. So it's a great time to buy investment properties right now. I'm seeing deals upon deals upon deals on these investment properties.
Oh, so you're saying so it's opportunity out there right now?
Opportunity right now, because what happens is as soon as the rates go down, everybody's gonna start
That
trying to
demand's
hop
to pick up. Yeah.
They're gonna, right now I'm seeing $30,000 off, $15,000 off. I'm seeing great deals. Everybody's going under contract for great deals right now because they desperate to get that money real quick.
Right.
Because they overextended.
Cool. Well, I'm glad I asked that.
Right,
I was thinking third quarter as well. I was thinking March at the beginning of the year, but then the numbers came out and I was like, oh, looks like it's going to be May-ish. But what happened last week, I'm like, man, it'll be third quarter, fourth quarter, if they even think about it.
Let me tell you what you need to do, Pat, right now. If you capitalize, for real, I would start off with some hard money. I'll do a quick fix and flip where you got these distressed properties that people need to offload right now to get some quick cash. We'll put together a renovation budget, no credit check, and go ahead put some money and fix it. And by the time everybody hop in the market, that thing already done, and you can sell it for top dollar.
Right. Well, so I didn't know we was getting personal, but personally, my uncomfortability with that strategy is actually the day-to-day of getting that work done.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna need a general contractor. You know what I mean? With subcontractors that can be trusted. That's my shortfall in that strategy. Right. I can crunch the numbers. I know how to find and make sure it makes sense. I can verify that on my own. But for me, it's the day-to-day to getting the work done to make sure that it's done how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
That's
why you hire either myself or a Hyman or something like that. The agent that's going to kind of pay the
y'all not going to see it for me. Y'all are just going to make sure I get the check to pay. When the work is done.
A good agent will kind of depends on a good agent will, especially if you're doing a fix and flip, will have us once a week walk that property for you.
And is that because that same agent wants to be the listing agent when it's done?
Exactly.
Correct.
That makes sense. I can see the incentive with that.
Right.
Makes sense.
So you hire like somebody like myself, or a combination of myself and both of us, Corey and I are both agents. So I can do the loan and watch the property for you. You know what I mean? So and that way I get the listing and the whole nine. So I'm eating off the loan. I'm eating off the you pay me 2-3% on the sale of that house, and then we rock like that.
Right. And then how to sell and negotiate with you.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the incentive, but that's what I would do. That's what I would do right now, because a lot of those properties, there's a ton of properties right now, that people are offloading.
Well, I don't think a lot of people are aware of that, just personally.
Well, they're not. A lot of people.
Or is it just because rates are, higher as they've been in a while, that they're just not even on real estate?
So that too. So a lot of people that are normally fix and flippers, a lot of people, if they did not capitalize, they didn't save the money. When the rate shot up, they weren't able to secure the financing. They didn't have the money to keep going. So a lot of people got stuck in certain properties. You got a lot of people that's overdue on credit card bills, so they need to liquidate one property. That property that they've been sitting on. So now at the time, all right, I got this property, so let me get rid of this. I don't own nothing. It's free and clear, but shit, I'll sell it to you for $140. And I got that $140 liquid after I pay everything. All that $120 liquid after I paid everything. Right. Instead of paying taxes on this year. So that's a lot right now. A lot of people trying to keep their, get some more capital. And that's they use that as like a little ATM, like a little savings account.
Right.
Regardless of what you do, primary residence or investment, you got to get in the game. Now is the time to get in the game.
You got to get in the game right now. And I think your boy said that, Ricky Carruth said that, like, man, you gonna look back at the beginning a 2024 as like one of those 2021 moments. Like this was probably going to be. I've never seen duplexes and triplex. I got a triplex under contract today. Like I've never seen triplexes and duplexes go. Like my last few deals have been duplexes, triplexes, like crazy. Everybody letting them go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I got 3 that went under contract today. I got 1 triplex, and 2 single families, but they got crazy deals on them. So right now, man, I'm telling you, right now, I got one. Let's get out there. I'll tell you about this one. I got another one. I'll see y'all next week. I got one that